Boris Johnson, does
Good evening.
further assessment of the environmental impact and a delay on the decision fill you with confidence that this government is now going to bite the bullet?
Well, I think what you've got is a kind of terminal indecision here. I think a lot of people will say this is just fudgerama to put it off beyond the mayoral elections next year. I think it's more significant than that. The real trouble with Heathrow is that it is just not deliverable. There are huge environmental disadvantages, hundreds of thousands of more Londoners affected by aircraft noise, and of course real degradation of the air quality around the airport. And I don't think that these problems are really easily soluble, particularly not the destruction of people's quality of life. Hundreds of thousands of people affected. So I do think the government is trying to think again after the Davis report, and I very much welcome that.
Well, but you're indicating that nevertheless you think it is just a political decision, and this is the Prime Minister who said no ifs, no buts, no third runway at Heathrow. And
that is
surely
the right policy.
The very decision to defer a decision indicates he's thinking there might be a runway at Heathrow, in which case you will not be thrilled.
That's completely right. I think that would be a tragedy for the city, and indeed I think it would be a tragedy for the country, because the real problem with Heathrow Runway 3 is that it's so pathetically unambitious. I mean, you ask Jo Valentine whether she's in favour of a fourth runway, and logically speaking you should have a four-runway hub airport delivering the capacity we need. Even if you put in a third runway at Heathrow, you'd only increase the number of international destinations that our hub airport serves by 12 by 2030.
Yeah,
we're being left behind by other European countries. We're concentrating on the wrong site, which is brutally constrained by its position in the West London suburbs. We need to think again.
Let's get to the meat of this. I mean, you feel so strongly that you would never serve in a government that decided to go ahead with a third runway at Heathrow, correct?
Well, there are about three separate hypotheses that you're piling.
Go for the one that matters. You would not serve in a government that had gone to Heathrow.
One upon the other. There are at least two hypotheses there, neither of which I think are likely to be fulfilled in the immediate future. I've got to get on with my job as Mayor of London, and like David Cameron, I was elected on a manifesto to stop the third runway because of its huge environmental.
Forgive me, Boris Johnson, it is attractive bluster.
That was what
it
David
is attractive bluster, but it does not answer the yes or no question. If this is so fundamental an issue, would you serve for a government that went ahead with a third runway at Heathrow, yes or no?
As I've said, I think that there are at least two hypotheses there. The answer to that is that I've got to finish my job as Mayor of London, and I think the government would be completely wrong to go ahead with a third runway just because it's so pathetically unambitious.
Okay, let me elevate you.
And it's environmentally massively destructive, and it would inflict unacceptable levels of noise pollution on hundreds of thousands of Londoners who do not yet suspect what is about what could hit them if the government were so foolish as to go ahead.
Boris Johnson, I put you in what you may regard as an improbable possibility. Nevertheless, you find yourself Prime Minister. Would you reverse this decision?
Well, look, I don't think it's the... Let me put it this way, John. I think that Britain is a great country and a great economy. I agree very much that we need to increase aviation capacity. I agree very much with what the government had to say just now in its response to the Davis report. And you've got some indications there that they do see the need for increased capacity. That's right. The question is, where do you put it?
Okay.
I don't think that Heathrow is the right answer. I think there are much better solutions, and I think in the end we will circle back to those solutions like the planes currently stacking
Boris Johnson, as we
London.
search for those solutions, that's it for tonight, but thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you. Well, Baroness Valentine, let's just talk Turkey, which is, what does this mean for the economy and for business?
It's just a tragic day for business. It is so pathetic. The government have announced nothing more than they announced at the interim report from Howard Davis. We knew what the three options were. We knew there were environmental conditions. He made a recommendation about an independent noise authority. What has the government been doing?
What does it actually mean, though, for business? Does it mean that it will actually slow business? Will it? What will it cost the economy?
What I know as London is we are the most successful, arguably, city in the world. We have more overseas subsidiaries of global companies. We have more overnight visitors. We have more international students. Manifestly, international connectivity matters to that sort of economy. So, in the Airports Commission has said that you get £150 billion worth of economic value from a third runway at Heathrow. I would have thought that was right sort of ballpark. That's tens of thousands of jobs, billions of pounds of lost opportunity as we delay.
Well, would you have thought that the Howard Davis Commission would have done the environmental assessment? Now we're going to have another one?
Yes, they did it. Lots of people have done it.
So what's changed since they did it?
Absolutely not. Well, the only thing that's changed is the government should have done its air pollution plans by this December, because the European Court has told them to do so.
But the implications
we know we've been breaching air quality limits in London in many places, mainly traffic related, for 15 years. So what has the government been doing to plan for that?
Is this too big a decision for politicians ever to take?
It would appear so, but it's too important not to take the decision. It really is a tragic decision that we've had from them today.
Baroness Valentine, thank you very much indeed.